Okay everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to show you my take on getting all of your pieces back into this wonderful game here. Space Empires 4X by Jim Krohn, put out by GMT Game. This one is the 2025 release. It's the fourth printing, I believe, fifth printing. Very popular game. The thing about this game is that it has so many pieces and trying to get them all in one spot, so it makes it easy for you to play. But I was able to get this, the main game, and the 3 expansions in 2 boxes. In this one, which is the one we're going to look at today, and also in this hefty, all good things 4-inch box here. So we have everything in these 2 boxes. So let's check and see how I was able to do that. All right, so getting this one was really the most difficult box, because what I want to do is I wanted to keep everything in here that allowed you to play Space Empires 4X and Close Encounters. So all of the pieces for Close Encounters, cards, everything, extra counters are in this right here. And the other thing that I was able to do is that I have all of the counters for the red, yellow, and green empires and blue empire. All of them are in this box right here, and that includes all of the expansions. So all 3 expansions of counters for these empires are all in this box right here. So I had to really get creative, and as you can see, there are 2 levels here on these, and I have them so they all interlock in, but you still have to be careful lifting them out. Such as right here, you can see that we have these particular counters. There's 2 counters on the end here, and this one always goes at the top because this one separates the cards and locks everything in, because we do have the close encounter cards are all up at the front here. So you want to make sure that you keep them up here to lock everything in. And then we have the blue empire and the yellow empire on this side. And then we have the green empire and yellow empire on that side. So we'll take a look at each one of these here in a minute. So on this little side right here, I took advantage of that and I made these trays here, and these are your number counters for your unit counters for hidden movements, so that you can have 5 underneath there, 6 underneath there, whatever. And then you can also have your colony counters here. So each player would take one of these, whichever color they're playing. And then as you can see, the rest of this board, that we have the board, which you're going to need, and of course you're going to need this if you play any of the expansions. I left the scenario book in here, and this is upside down because I like to switch them. But I left the scenario book in here because this is one that's not so easy to find. I did get rid of the Space Empires rule book because that's easy enough to download. But I left the scenario book here, so you have that. You have all of your close encounter player aids, ship charts, and research chart here. You have your close encounter production sheet here. You have your close encounter expansion rule book here. You have your scenario book, and then we have our battle board down here, and we have our fleet cards here. So let me put all this back in. So this all fits in the bottom or top, wherever you like. I like putting it in the bottom because it just makes it easier for me to stack the cards and put all these in there. And then I'm going to put this board, is going to go back in there. And as a matter of fact, seeing as how I'm doing that, I'm just going to put these cards back in here just to have them out of the way so that I don't have to worry about them. And you just split them in half is all you do on those cards. So here are all of our counters. And so the way that I designed this is so that you have your game counters here. And let me just lift this off here. And then you have, so all of your game counters are right here. You have your dice here that you can take out. You have your Space Empires Close Encounter cards. This is the Advantage deck here. And this one here is the Alien Technology deck. So, and then you have your amoebas over here. You have your battles, and these are all the counters that you would use in the game for other things that are not your empire counters. So this could go at the top. you know, a person could take, they could take whichever color as their space, because you're going to lay them out anyway. And then in these particular ones here, we have, for example, when I pull this one off, and let me set this aside and keep it in the frame here. So when you pull this off, you have, on this, you have the red, so you just, the red person would just take both these. Now, we do have some extra ones here for green, yellow, blue, and red. Whoever's playing that would take these. We have our alien ships in the middle here. Yellow is, you know, the extra ones, but I tried to put these over here where they were more of the advanced stuff. I may not have got it correctly because I do have, I'm still new at this game, but that's how that one is designed, or all of them are designed really basically that way. And then here you have your blue empire and your yellow empire. So you would just separate these, and you would take the counters that go for what you're doing, whatever side you're playing. And again, it's the same way here. You have green. The green player would take these two. The green player would take these. Let's say you're playing green and yellow. The green player would take these two, this, and these would all go towards the top, someplace around the board, so that you can both have access to that. Now, all the rest can go back in there. If you do need these, you're going to have to pull them out. In the same way with, you know, if you're playing the aliens, you could basically just pop these out. Like green and yellow player, you just pop these out and have this someplace both of you have access to. But I tried to design it so that whatever player is playing whatever side, they just pull these and put them next to their board. Now, the cool thing about these too is that I have all of the counters in here from all of the expansions in the game. So if you're the blue player, you have everything you need here for all the expansions. So if you're playing the basic game, you just use the ones that you need for the basic. Playing Close Encounters, you have your armies here, you have your Marines and ground units here. If you go into where you're playing Replicator, you still have all of your pieces, but you will need the Replicator pieces, which are in that box. And of course, each player takes one of these, and they have everything there that they need for that. So that is the way that this is all designed, and these stack on top of each other. And you know, they're not, you know, they fit together pretty good, but you still have to be careful and handle them. Once you get this on and you hold it by the bottom, they're pretty much locked in there and nothing moves. The same way on this one here. As I bring this on over and I put the red, blue, and green empire, you see that they're all locked. And then these right here, these also lock together somewhat, but they are, you know, they do fit together. And then once you get the top on and you hold it by the bottom, you're good. Now, you will have these shake out. Those are the only ones that will shake out. But other than that, unless you do that, then you're pretty good. And look, that still nothing didn't fall out, even when I shook it up like that. All right, so let's take a look. Let's take a close-up look of this one first here. And let's take a close-up look of these little side ones. Okay, so again, each player takes one of these, and these are just your number counters. You know, and on the back of 2, you have 1. On the back of 3, you have 3 and 4. And on the back of 5, you have your 6 counters right there. So, and then you, of course, have your colony counters. So each person has enough to get them through the game with them just taking one of each of these. Now, our first one that goes at the top is the game counter box. And let me just grab this and try to keep them together, because it does separate in the middle. And then over on this side, we do have all of our lid 4, tray 4B, tray 4C, and all the trays are labeled here. So you just have to watch what you're doing. But once you get them apart, you separate them like this. And again, we got the tray labeled there. We got trays labeled here. And we have our cards, which Close Encounter Empire Advantage deck. So that goes in this one right here. Over here we have our amoebas, and the amoebas go in tray 4D. So you got amoebas, and you got some open space here, and some asteroids. And then the dice go in tray 4C. I'm sorry, this was 4D, that's 4D. And this is 4C. So we have our battles, we have your turn marker here, and your military. And we have our dice, and then we have your planets there, your planets that you markers. And then here we have open space, and we have the green empire and some extra counters for the colonies. And this is 4F and 4G. Now 4F and 4G, and you can see that they do interlock right here. Get a little close up of that. But depending on your machine, you know that some will lock better than others, but once they get together, they're pretty good. And then this is your home space, and red, yellow, and blue are in this one, and that's 4B and 4C. So, and that goes on top of the cards here. And when you push them together, they don't interlock until you get this lid on. Now the lid only interlocks the top part to keep them from going back and forth inside the box. So you do have to hold it from the bottom. You have to grab it from both sides and hold it from the bottom. Best I can do on that, folks. Let's take a look at the red empire with the yellow, green, and blue empire. So I'm just gonna lift this lid off here so you can see that and pull these two apart. So the red player is gonna just go ahead and separate these like that. And the red player is just gonna take these two trays right here. Now on the red, this is tray 1A, and you can see what tray 1A has in it. You can go ahead and freeze that frame if you want to, and that way you know what goes down in there. Now I've made these so that they're all the same thing underneath, so nothing is mixed in here. And this tray right here, this is the unknown tray. See, so I got to label some of these trays. Well, this is the top part of your red one. I can't believe it doesn't have a number. So we have decoys, we have other red pieces there, and I will hold that still for a second so you can get a look at that. And again, I like to use color coding. And same way here, our other red pieces, you can see that I have a color code down here at the bottom. So when I pull these pieces out, I know that red pieces go in that particular one. Gray pieces go here, blue pieces go over there. So that way I can find it a little bit easier. You can just mark them with a Sharpie or whatever you want to do. So that is the base, and you can tell the base ones because they have these little notches on both sides here. And that allows these to fit in there because you can see that these have little notches. Let's see if I can get that up far enough for you. Maybe not. But they have little notches that fit in there so that when you put these trays on there, they lock in right there. And then this last one here that we haven't looked at, this is your green tray. This is tray 1D right there. And we have our yellow, our gray, and our green ones. And again, I use color coding so that I know what goes where. So you just push these two together, put them on top of this one, go ahead and put your lid down on it, and you can, again, you can tell the top ones because they have these little handles right there that go on the top. So here is our blue and yellow empire, and again, I will take them apart. And on this one, you know, you as the yellow player, you would separate this, and you would take all the yellow pieces. Now you'd have to take it from this one, and also from the green empire has two more yellow pieces here. So you'd have 4 of these if you're the yellow player. Sorry, yellow player, you just happen to end up that way. The blue takes all of these pieces, and again, these are our base pieces. These are our upper pieces with the handles. And the bottom one here, this is tray 2B, and this is what's in there. And let me try and get that squared up here so that you can see it. And that way you can take note as to what it is. And this one here is tray 2A. And there's all the colony ships there. And again, I like to use color coding. This makes it easier for me to know what goes where. And then we have this particular one is tray 2D. Get it where I can see it. And so you can see that we have our ground units here. We have some blank ones, do it yourself. We have our, when you're playing alien empires, these are your fleets that come in. And some of your homeworld ones and decoys there. And then this tray here is tray 2C. And 2C has all of your ground units, your pipelines, logistics, and research, production, and logistics. So all of that goes in there. And again, they have little notches right here, and they insert into the one that goes in front of them. This goes right on top, and this goes on top for the blue, yellow, and you can see that the yellow sticks through and the blue, that's just me. And finally, let's look at our green and yellow empire. So again, we'll take off the lid, we'll pull these two off here, and again, set up the exact same way. You're just, if you're the yellow player, and I would recommend color coding. I mean, it just makes this so much easier. It looks so nice. No reason not to do it, I think. So the base one here, this is the 3B, and this one here is 3A, and then we have 3D and 3C. So the two base ones here, this is your yellow, this is your 3B, and this is what's in that one. Try and get you a close-up view of that. There, and again, they all are designed so that they fit perfectly in here. There's a little space to make it easy for you to grab them out of there with just your finger, or tweezers is what I use. And this is 3A tray, and again, here they are right there. That's what goes in the 3A tray, and the label is on this side. And again, they are designed for each particular piece to go into it. And this is your 3D tray, and again, the label is over there, and that's what goes into the 3D. And again, all custom depths, so that they all have the right height, so that they all finish at the exact same height up here. And this one is 3C. And you can see here, these are the units. We have our ground units and our pipelines and logistic. I try to keep them all the same. I messed up on the red ones because I didn't have it organized yet, but all these are in the same trays there. So, all right. So we'll push these together, these two together. These two go on top of each other. This locks in here, and this comes over to the box. Now, first thing you want to do is you want to slide this in. And these two can go in here like that. And then you're going to put this counter tray in there. You're going to put the red and yellow empire can go there. Your green empire can go here. And your blue and yellow empire can go right there. You can mix these two up. You can mix all three of these up. This is the main one that has to go at the very top there. Okay, so as you can see, everything fits in here just really, really nice. You have your dice, you have everything. And this is the only box you need if you're going to play Space Empires 4X and Close Encounters. If you play these two games together, this is the only box you're going to need. Okay, so I hope you appreciate this. This took a little bit of work to get this all in here. It took a lot of messed up designs. I mean, I can show you, there's messed up trays. I got probably 6 or 7 trays that, they just weren't quite right, so I redesigned them. But I did get everything to fit in 2 boxes, I think, pretty well. And I think you'd have fun with just carrying around these 2 boxes. So hopefully you like that. Don't forget, these are available on the GMT website now. You can download them for free and start making your own trays for your empire, and then make it fit nicely and make it play a little easier. Please do like and subscribe. That helps out the channel a lot. And, if you do make the trays, leave a comment down below. If you can put a picture, that would be great. If not, go ahead and leave a comment on the official GMT Facebook and give us some pictures. Love to see what you came up with and how it worked out for you. Thanks for watching.